Okay, hey, welcome everybody. It's Damo. We're going to go over some Tradingview basics. Yeah, that's right. All right, so we've got this is your Tradingview. So this is how it comes up. You're going to have up here, it's going to tell you which symbol you're looking at. We're looking at Bitcoin right now. You've got your watch list over here. This is like you can populate this list. You can just hit the plus button here, type in, add, symbols, that kind of stuff. Right now, I'm just gonna show you how to like sort of change some of the settings in here that most people don't know about. We know how to sort of manipulate the charts, do a lot of that, but let's go into sort of like all the cool Easter egg stuff. One, this is white. This is a white background. This isn't really for Damien. Damo is totally a dark mode person. So if you hit the three lines up here and you see it says dark color theme, you can turn that on or off. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, this makes my eyes so much happier when I'm in dark mode. So dark mode engaged. Basically there's some stuff up in here. You can turn the drawings panel on or off on the side here. I tend to leave it on because I tend to draw. So that's what I do within there. If you want to get back into some of the other stuff, you can go to you can go back to the home page. You can go and look at ideas, markets, scripts, stuff like that. So if we hit the gear wheel, you'll see there's a settings button. You've got auto, which allows you to keep the chart. So this is auto mode. You see, as I'm fitting more on the screen, it's squishing it, right? If I turn auto off and I do that, you notice how it doesn't just add everything in the screen. It just sort of scrunches it up. If I hit the auto button, boom, there it is. It's all back. You've got auto, which allows you to keep the chart. So this is auto mode. You see, as I'm fitting more on the screen, it's squishing it, right? If I turn auto off and I do that, you notice how it doesn't just add everything in the screen. It just sort of scrunches it up. If I hit the auto button, boom, there it is. It's all back. Another cool feature I didn't know about, if you get lost like way over in La La Land, and let's say it's this, and you went somewhere and everything's off chart, it's all out of whack. So there's this cool thing. You go down to keyboard shortcuts, type it in, find shortcut, go reset. Reset chart is Alt and R. So on a PC, it'll be the Alt button. On your Mac, it's probably going to be the Command button. So it's a really wicked little shortcut here I learned. Alt R, boom, bang, we're back to where we want to be. So that's pretty cool. And let's hit that gear wheel again. We're going to go to settings. So the body, the borders, and the wicks. This here, basically, you know, you got your up candle, down candle. So we could make the up candle dark green, right? You notice how the light green now, the bodies is that's the outer body part of it, right? If I go to here, it's actually to fill the bodies. I was wrong, right? But we made it dark. That's why it looks dark on the inside. So, I've changed mine. I like mine to look a little different. I like a softer look on my chart. So I think I've set all mine to look like this, right? So I set all mine to be this guy, right? I just like a nice cooler color. And then my reds are actually purples. You can see it's a little calmer. Well, I don't know. It's whatever you want it to be, right? So this here is the last price line. And as you can see, this last price line is going to change color related to the candlestick. So if it's purple, it means price is still a down price. If it was going up, it would be this other color. We can set our time zone. So I generally like to set to the time zone that I'm in, which is UTC -7. You can just Google what your time zone is in UTC and it'll find out where you're at. Status line here. This is going to sort of change things up in the top here. So we've got the symbol, right? So you can see the Bitcoin USD dollar part. You see that drops in and out. Show open market status. That's that green guy right here. So that guy's telling you are the markets open or closed. So like if I was to flip over to Euro USD, you'll see that its status here says market closed. It also says 1 update per second. So then you've got your OHLC values, open, high, low, and close values. So if I click on that, you can see the right here. So the market opened at 39,274 at the beginning of trading today. It's had a high of 39,727. It's at a low of 32. You see how the colors changed? That's when it went from being a green, it went up instead of a down motion there. So that's kind of neat. So yeah, so you've got your open, your high, your low, your close. And then this here, that's on the current candle. If I roll back to the previous candle, it'll give me the high, low, open, close for that one. You see there, it was up right? This one's minus 172. When I go over the candle, it's 251, right? Percent. These are your show buy sell buttons. I tend to get rid of those because I like to see what's on the chart. I don't need any extra stuff that I'm not using. Indicator titles, you'll see that on here we've got a volume indicator on the bottom. That's what those bars at the bottom are. They're indicating the volume of orders that were flowing through the market at this point in time. Over here, you can see this is your price scale. So right now you can have the symbol name label, which adds it here, which just to me is just asking for clutter. You got the symbol last price label. So that's the last price label here. If I take that off, then it's not there. Previous high, low, or sorry, previous day, close price label. That's only for intra. I don't need that. Showing the bid ask labels. That's just telling you what the current price is. So as you can see, it's always showing what the ask price is. The bid is if you were selling, or sorry, buying. Asking is if you're selling. So we're going down, so it's showing that. I generally don't use those. You can have the high and low labels. Those line up same with that high and low line that we had on the other side I was telling you about. See how they move as you move the chart, what's on the chart. No overlapping labels. That's useful if you've got something like, say, you're doing the pivot strategy type thing, and you're gonna have all the pivot point levels on here. Sometimes when it gets crowded, you don't want them overlapping. You want to be able to read the label. It'll just stack them. Countdown to bar close. That's always valuable. If you want to know when the chart's going to close, let's move this to a 15-minute chart, right? And R to read. Alt R resets the chart, right? So, yeah, I like to know that in 3 minutes, this 15-minute candle closes. That's going to be key in telling me what I'm going to want to do next, based off of how that candle closes, right? Is price closing below a support and resistance line, for example. So, it's good to know that. Gives you the ability of time for things, right? The currency is handy. So this puts this little currency indicator over here. So, one Bitcoin right now is worth 38,552 US dollars. So if you were to try and trade that Bitcoin for US dollars, that's what you get. So it's an easy way to take it and sit back for a second and think, if the US dollar is strong, then you're not going to get as much US dollar for your Bitcoin because the dollar has got the strength. So, and so here's another way you can flip to a different symbol. You can just type the symbols, the first three of it, right? We want what? Bitcoin USD. So I'll go down, we'll go grab the Coinbase chart down here, right? So I'm going to select it. You see here how it says press and hold control while zooming to maintain the chart position? That's kind of cool. If I whip over to here and I want to zoom in on this area, I can just hold down my control button and roll my scroll wheel, and then it zooms on that spot there. Versus if I just do the scroll wheel, it's just going to scroll out from this point over here. It's just going to stretch or compress, right? You can get into the menu from going down to the gear wheel at the bottom right of the chart and hitting the settings button. Takes me here. Or I can just right click anywhere on the chart and go to settings in the right click menu. So now I've got appearance. My next stop here is going to be on the appearance. This area is, for me, kind of crucial. I find I spend a lot of time on the charts, which means my eyes are in front of my computer all day long. You need to take care of your eyes. That's the number one thing. So you can have a gradient on the background. Like I want it black. Like just give me black, and I don't want a gradient. I want it solid, right? So just give me black. That's what I want. Now, as far as these grid lines go, me personally, I'm not a fan. So I just go and make it black. The horizontals I might show up sometimes. I might put them on there, give them some opacity, just so I get an idea. I'll show you a little bit more about grid lines in a minute, right? Session breaks is kind of a cool thing. So the session break here, it allows you to, see when the day changed, right? So that was when we went from, the 6th, which was Friday, right? Session broke there, and yeah, it's a 24-hour kind of thing. So my time frame doesn't flip, right? See, mine changes here, right? So that's midnight for me. But where the exchange is that this is traded on, this was their session break. It becomes important just to know where and when that happens sometimes. So one cool thing I'd like to show you though, when it comes to this background, is you can pick gradient here and you could put blue. See? Now check that out. So now you got this gradient. So you can actually and you can change how this gradient, can you change? No. Yeah, you can just pick the two different colors, right? So now you've got a gradient, right? You could flip that around. You could do this, or you could do this. You could do this, right? Like lots of different ways to do it. And you can go to your heart's content, right? And you can change. I don't want that blue anymore. I want it yellow, or maybe I want it just like this, right? But me personally, I don't want too many colors. I'm a flat black. Just give me black. I want easy contrast. I want the whole thing to look the same. And I actually don't mind having those grid lines on there. So scales text is over here. This is how you can adjust the text on the right. You know, you could change it. You could have it as purple. You know, you can have it whatever you like. Any of those colors, which is kind of cool. And you can change its opacity. Not that I'd want to, but you can have it dim out. It's pretty important information. I think I'll stick it back to down here. I'll make it that so it's not quite so brilliant. Scales line, same thing. You can make it do what it does, right? I just like it simple. I'll match it to that. You can put the watermark on. That's kind of an. I've been using this. I have this on all of mine. So I forgot that I could probably change its color, right? So and then you can change its opacity. You can make it like this. I tend to just have it like there in the background, just so I know what chart I'm on. Make sure I'm on the right chart. Navigation buttons visible on mouse over. Yeah, I'm not sure about these navigation buttons. I haven't figured out what that is. I thought, oh, that's these guys down here. So this lets you, this is the same as using the scroll wheel. This is just scrolling the chart. It moves it one bar at a time. And then this is the same as Alt R. It brings you back to center. So also top margin here, which is kind of cool. You can tell it, how far up to the top and the bottom you want it to come, right? You can also tell it how many bars away from the scale you want it to be on this side, right? If you like a little space away, like you can have it, you can set it however you want, right? I kind of like it. I think 10 is a good number for me personally. I like a little space there just because in that way I can have some indicators over or some drawings and such over here with names, and then it's not overlapping going under it. There's this template section. You can save a template, but I can right click and I can go to settings, right? And then I can hit templates here. And then you can see I have some different settings, right? So I'm going to go demo dark side, hit OK. I'm going to take my volume indicators off. And there you can see, I was telling you before how I had some more pastel colors, keep me nice and calm while I'm trading. And yeah, you'll see there's no grids on here. I like it black, 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 black. That's sort of where I'm at. If I could set all this appearance on the right and the left that way, I would do just the same. So that's sort of how things go. That's at least getting it set up and dialed in and looking the way you want it to look. We're going to do another couple of sessions. I'm probably going to go through some of the tools over here. Just basic ways to set up the chart. So yeah, if you guys interested and like what you see, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.